never laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy. And for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend and sail to tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end. And the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out. And when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care? Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides.
All right, here we go.
Stomach turns rancid grease, and pus pours out like
how you guys
melted
doing?
cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread.
Yeah, I'm aware of everything being a little loud. Working with some new plugins, so I'm not quite used to the overall levels of things. So just trying to figure everything out. But how you guys doing tonight? Well, today, this afternoon, whatever it is time of the day for you. We are going to be getting started here very shortly. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the comment that I left on both the Facebook and the community tab. I do have a way for you guys to watch Ash vs. the Evil Dead with me. Now I'm going to be dropping a link for you guys to actually join me. Now, I believe you may have to download the app and sign up for it. So we're going to let everybody get a chance to do that. And then pretty much just follow the invite. Which as I said, I did fix the microphone issue. I did tons of testing after trying certain things out. The microphone has not cut out on me at all. I just did a random private stream to myself just to make sure that it was going to work with Resident Evil 3 again. I replayed a little bit of that. Not one time did the microphone ever cut out on me. So I think the days of the microphone cutting out are now behind us. Thankfully. I don't have to keep going back fucking with privacy settings and all that shit. Apparently what the issue was in my sound options, it comes by default that your microphone is sort of where it tries to be exclusive per app. So I have a couple of apps running at the same time, and because of that, it's trying to go over here, then go over there, and it just stays in one area. And that's why I kept cutting out of my OBS. Hey, what's going on, Yanis? How you doing? Saw a Child's Play vinyl record with a bonus Chucky slip mat. Nice, nice, nice. You got to download an app to watch? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. I'll be streaming Ash vs. the Evil Dead on there while doing the commentary here. But that's if you want to watch, Haley. If you decide you don't want to watch, or at least you don't want to sync it up like I normally do, because I'll still be doing the countdown. That'll still be happening. So if you have a copy of it and you want to do it that way, that is completely fine. But if you want to watch me providing the actual video, then yeah, I definitely will be playing it through that particular app. I'm not doing it. What microphone should I buy? I'm currently only using my PS4 mic, and I also want one that's good quality. That's around $20-$30. $20-$30. There's a couple of them out there. I would probably say if you're going to get a mic for that price, probably do some research and reviews. If you have a particular way you want the mic to sound, then go start looking for that in the reviews. That's how I did with my first headset and a lot of the stuff that I did my first videos on. I did like the way that mic sounded until I ended up getting a blue Snowball, which I think with that was like 50. So I mean, if you're going 30, throw another 20 out there, you can probably get yourself a Snowball Ice. Hey, what's going on, Ghost? How you doing? You don't know if your phone will let you do both live streams at once. Then what I will do, Haley, I'll put on the microphone for the other app. So that way, if you do jump over there, you can watch it over there as well. That's completely fine. I was trying to keep the views going on YouTube, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll play it the commentaries over there because I think it only allows so many people to begin with. So I mean, pretty much we'll keep it open until it fills capacity, if it does fill capacity, and go from there. But we'll be doing this on YouTube for people that want to sync it up later, or for people that don't want to get the app and watch it with me. We'll do it the normal style, countdown, hit play, watch the next 3 episodes, because we're going to do 3 episodes tonight, or today, rather. I'm so used to doing it at night, I keep saying tonight. And for those that join me on the app, fuck it. We can watch it together. We can actually watch it together. Now, the only thing is me trying to keep up with both chats, because that chat is not together with my YouTube chat. So I got to keep up with those. So you just downloaded the app and sent me a request. I see. Let me accept. just check to make sure I got everything running well. All right, looks like we are running pretty damn good. Did I take the Capcom survey? I have not, Ghost. I have not. Likely Haley, it probably won't. You'll probably have to choose one or the other, which is fine. Like I said, I'll be putting everything on for that stream. I have my device there. Eat a bagel on stream. But of course, also today is also the cosplay share segment of the stream, which I did it a bit differently this time around. Normally, I'll gather a couple of pictures from cosplayers, sometimes randomly, some I've talked to, and I'll show a picture, I'll say a little bit, I'll ramble on, I'll tell you to go follow them, check them out, and all that good stuff. This time, doing it a bit differently. So the way we're going to do it this time, I created a little video package. It's like a little bit over a minute long. So that way it showcases the cosplayers that I wanted to showcase in the share segment. And then afterwards, end up telling you to go follow them and check them all out. And on that note, why don't we actually check them out? Let me go ahead and cut off my mic because I don't want my talking to really interfere with everything that you're going to see. So let me shut that down. Let me actually put that up real quick just to let you know that we're switching over. So, and 1. Alright, so that was the new version of the share segment. Let me know if you guys like that, or do you like it the original way where I was sharing every picture individually and just rambling on. But again, I got all those cosplayers named in their pictures. That video, along with the pictures that I shared, will be up on the Facebook JG Darhk Hordes of Horror page. And we'll have all of their social media links on the community tab. So feel free to check them out, give them a follow, and All of that good stuff. So let's see what we got going on in the chat. Gonna send some pics in a few. Nice, Ghost. Nice, nice, nice. What you got for me? Some more figures, I hope, or maybe more. Same cosplay, Jason. Yes, not the same picture though. That's a different picture than the ones I shared. Dope Chucky. Yeah, that Chucky. As soon as I saw that Chucky, I was like, shit. I gotta share that. They did a hell of a job. I've seen other people do Chucky, but to really capture the facial expressions, it's like fucking awesome. Imagine Michael walking around in New York in Halloween 2. I mean, I don't know. Michael's always been sort of a small neighborhood kind of guy. Like, it's supposed to be an everyday situation kind of killer. Like, on Halloween. Like, you can go down any neighborhood street and fucking potentially run into Michael Myers. If you take him to New York, it kind of fucks with the mystique. Same thing with Jason. It was fun to see him in Times Square, but it takes a camping killer and puts them in a big city setting. That kind of ruins the effect and the purpose of the character. Yeah, Paris, we just did the share. I just shared the video. But we are going to be getting into the commentary here shortly. Yes, the commentary will be on the other live stream as well. I'll be having my mic on for that too. So yeah, anybody that wants to watch it over there, feel free. If you want to have both streams on, feel free. It only helps me out pretty much just for view-wise and monetary reasons on YouTube if you're watching it on there. But by no means do you have to watch it on YouTube if you're already in the other stream. Unless something goes terribly wrong. And then pretty much I have to shut that down and we just do it the normal way. Oh, you love the Chucky too. The Chucky has to be a real favorite of her. I love the Chucky. I love the Chucky and the Pennywise. The funny thing about the Pennywise one is I was actually there live at Baltimore Comic-Con with her on that one. I got to see her live as Pennywise. And the picture does it no justice compared to live action. Got the DVD ready to go. Oh shit. Nice, nice, nice. So let me go ahead, cut out my desktop volume. We're going to jump over here, hit the stream. And if you guys need the link to get into the stream, just let me know. All right, so those that are doing this the old-fashioned way, the way this is going to work is I'm going to give a countdown if you are not watching on the other app. Once I down to 0 or 1? Yeah, get down to 1, then I'll say play, you'll hit play. We'll hit play together, and hopefully our copy should be synced up enough to get around the same time. If I make mention of something, you should be seeing it too, hopefully. But yeah, with that being said, we begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Never mind, crisis averted. Which I'm not sure. Not sure how much of a delay there is. That's a very random thing for Raze. Should I get my headphones on the right volume? Funny thing is, I think this is the episode that Ty was waiting for, wasn't it? You don't have the app, no room on phone? Oh, that's very unfortunate, Puddin'. Which, for those of you that are... Oh, can't hear it. Let me know, can you guys hear it now? So I can't tell because I'm not, oh shit. I'm not exactly on my normal. And how about now? Because it only gives me so many options to hit. No, this is for the other people on the other app. They're saying that the audio is not on there. Interesting. Let me try it like this. I don't know if it will cut off my mic though. So if you hear something, count the 5 as soon as I say go. Count the 5. If you don't hear anything, let me know whether you hear it or not. And let me know if you hear me too. All right. Can you guys hear me or... Okay, you can hear it now, but can you hear me? Who can get the rights to Jeepers Creepers? Probably just the... I believe Victor Salva still owns the rights to that, right? Hand is missing. Those pancakes do look good, though. Like, seriously. Just how I like my rubies. So yeah, I guess with the other site, from what I'm learning, is that you can either hear me or you can hear the show, but you can't hear both, which is very odd. Oh, no problem, no problem. No offense taken, Nick. Like, I just found out about it today, so I'm still trying to learn all the ins and outs. So it's sort of like, once we get everything figured out, or I find a site that's even better, then we might be able to go from there. Always be stockpiling, as predicted, Corona confirmed. Especially if you had like shit tons of toilet paper. How's that, Haley? What loophole did you find? I was trying to skip out on the bill. So you're on YouTube, but you can still hear the other live stream. Really? Huh. You sent them all ghosts? What'd you send them through? Facebook or Discord? Gotcha. I have to take a look at them after the stream. Then if you want, I can share them in the next one. To be fair, it looks like one pricey fucking day. Yeah, pretty much. It's probably like when you saw the bill, like, oh, fuck that. I said no such thing that I was picking up dinner. I mean, you found a workaround, Haley. See, mine, like, if I had to pick one or the other, it would completely cut the audio out of one and still play the other. So at least you found some kind of loophole with it. Hey, what's going on, Karate Raptor? How you doing? It's like the book is kind of growling at him. Although these pages look a lot fresher than I remember. I mean, that's always a possibility. It's just the whole thing, at what point in time did Ruby end up taking over her body? Because I would assume her name's not Ruby because the Deadites kind of refer to her as Ruby. So, I mean, I would imagine that was her Dark One name. Or at least the name that she adopted. Oh, shit, Ghost. I'm going to have to check that out. It's been a while since I've seen some of your, like, awesome paint skills with the figures. On the other stream, the one that's playing the show, Haley, I don't think I can. Yeah, there's no levels, at least as far as from what I'm seeing. Yeah, as far as like audio settings, it's not allowing me to bring down the volume at all. However, I could do it here. Wonder if that'll work for you. It's nothing special. It's like the classic, just some minor weathering. I mean, all your work has been special. So, like, pretty much I wouldn't downplay it. You got some pretty great stuff that you've shared on the channel alone. Like, especially once we started the whole sharing thing goes, you've knocked out a ton of fucking figures. The fuck with electrocuting the book deal? I guess a figure, since the book is organic by nature, it carries an electrical current. Maybe it might offshoot its supernatural prowess. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to explain things. It's not even sounding like it makes sense to me. Say, you think it's working a little bit. That's because I turned it down in the media player itself. So hopefully that comes on there like a bit better than what you want it. Although she did dig in a little bit deep. Hey, what's going on, Chuck? How you doing? Come on. Oh. 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 Like, why does he always got to go face first? Like, hopefully she at least let him wash his face after that shit. Like, good God. Okay, that's awesome to hear. Talk about piss poor mood. Dude, like, he got it in his mouth. But I mean, granted, Ash has had many things in his mouth. So, I mean, I guess that's not a big stretch for him. Ow. Ah. For someone that was so worried about his fucking... Oh, shit. Like, for someone that was so worried about her partner being killed and everything, she opened fire on him pretty fucking quickly. Never realized when I watched that and he had the screwdriver like in her jaw that it actually came out the other end like that. Like on the inside. It's like none of these Deadites try to catch the chainsaw or the shotgun themselves. Fucking action hero slide. You just got 86th. That's a great shot, though. Like, him running in the woods, the way the woods looks, it looks like daylight creepy. Can't remember. Does he get the... He doesn't get the tree rape, does he? I was getting ready to say, I couldn't remember. It's like he's about to get the tree sap. It's like, dude, like, Ash just needs to get laid. Alright, so that was episode 6, I believe. Alright, before we start the next episode, let me go to the comments, see what's going on. We said, looks like Ranger was saying, damn horny tree, stop it. Or horny trees, stop it. Tree gangbang. Well, to be fair, they didn't actually do it, although in my head canon, he got the sap. How come we didn't see the Necronomicon in Friday the 13th Part 1? Because they said Mrs. Voorhees used the Necronomicon to resurrect Jason. That's because Jason is not a Deadite. Jason has never been a Deadite. Jason has no association with the Necronomicon. Even if we take Adam Marcus at his word that that is the actual Book of the Dead, then ultimately it can be assumed that Jason's niece is her husband, boyfriend. I can't remember if she was the Robert Campbell dude, the news reporter. It's very likely that he had that on himself and planted it in the Voorhees house. Because there's no way you're going to convince me that you have a psychopathic killer that has been sabotaging a campground for 20 some odd years, and after she gets her head cut off, you don't search her house. There's no way you're going to convince me that after said killer is decapitated and the son, who has been living in the woods for a couple decades, has now also been killing, that you don't check the Voorhees house. And if they did check the Voorhees house, something tells me, as inept as the cops in the Wessex County area or Camp Crystal Lake area, like whatever you want to call it, there's no way you're going to tell me that they don't find a book that looks like that, that's made of flesh and inked in blood, that they're not taking that as some kind of evidence and linking Pamela to some kind of occult. There's no way. There's no way it would have been there at all. There's 100% no way. Now, I've done videos on the timeline on why it doesn't make sense for Jason to be a Deadite. And unless you're doing some mental gymnastics and the book traveling through time and there's multiple different books everywhere and so forth, even if you get past that, Pamela still can't read the book. She can't read it. So how did she make any kind of pact with anything from the book itself if she can't read it? It doesn't make sense. Jason is a Deadite. JG in chat. Oh shit, here we go again. What's going on, 1948? How you doing? Michael stabs you in the stomach 32 times and you're in the living room. Oh, excuse me. What's going on, Dason? And Jumpy, how you doing? But yeah, there's absolutely no way Jason's a Deadite at all. There's none. Just from the aspect that Pamela can't read. I've heard other people try to make sense of it to the degree that maybe Nobi helped her. Well, then at what point do you place the timeline? Because Nobi couldn't have helped her. Nobi, according to the canon in the series, didn't find the book until what, 81, 82? Jason drowned in 57. So at what point in time did Pamela just grieve for a couple of decades and then found Professor Nobi and decided to read from the book? But then that would have to place Nobi finding the book in like 78, 77. Somewhere around there before Pamela's death, because she dies in 79. There's no way at all. Like, you would have to do such mental gymnastics to have the book go back in time, or there be multiple books, which, granted, everyone turns immediately to Army of Darkness. There's nothing within canon that says all three of the books in Army of Darkness, at least as far as I know. Maybe Paris knows a little bit more than me on that. But there's nothing in canon that I know of that says those three books are three different Necronomicons. They're all three valid books, and they just had the reaction to Ash that they did because he didn't say the words. I always assumed that the three books was like a supernatural Indiana Jones-esque kind of trap. Two books were a trap, one book was real. Sort of like fucking the Holy Grail in Indiana Jones. There was a bunch of cups everywhere, but only one of them was the real thing. I took it as the same kind of thing as that. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all three of those books are actual copies of the same book, and maybe one of them did get into Pamela's hands. The thing is, I don't think that the Jason we know from the Paramount films is a Necronomicon raised demon, Deadite, or anything like that. Maybe the New Line version is, because his history differs from the original Jason. That's why I said the New Line movies are a reboot of the original series. They don't reboot it in the traditional sense like you see in Origin and move on from there. They rebooted it like just based on people's knowledge. Oh, they know who Jason is. We don't need an Origin. We just put him out there and go. Adam Marcus has even said himself he has ignored pretty much a good portion of all of the Paramount films, aside from little key things here and there, like how he got, not how he gets it, but the fact that he gets the hockey mask, the deformed look. But overall, a good portion of the series was ultimately ignored, especially Part 8. So, yeah, Jason Goes to Hell is a reboot. JG, do you think Jason ever went back to the Voorhees house before Jason Goes to Hell? I think if the Voorhees house existed in the original timeline, yeah. Without a doubt, he would have. But is at that point, why did he have the shack in the woods then? So it's like, what? And if the Voorhees house was that accessible and that close, you gotta consider, he found Alice Hardy. Alice Hardy had just moved back to the Crystal Lake area, and he found her in an apartment. How did he not know where the Voorhees house was? Like, I get there wasn't MapQuest or Google Maps back then, but he found a girl that had just moved in to an apartment that killed his mother with no technology or anything. He just knew where she was, knew her phone number to call her, to even make sure that she was there. You mean to tell me he couldn't find the Voorhees house? Ever. He decided to live in a shack in the woods and never go back home that entire time. Like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, pretty much the way I would say it, Paris, Jason Goes to Hell is a Jason movie, but it's not a Friday the 13th movie. That's why it's only Jason in the title for everything New Line. And yes, Freddy vs. Jason and Jason X ignore almost everything from Jason Goes to Hell. Like, you could remove Jason Goes to Hell from the entire series. Like, if you did a marathon with someone that never saw a Friday the 13th film and you went 1 through 8, and then Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason, you wouldn't miss any plot points. There's nothing in Jason Goes to Hell that carries over at all, aside from what was supposed to be Jason resurrecting in Freddy vs. Jason. But even then, that doesn't connect to Jason Goes to Hell at all, because one, he doesn't wake up with the dagger in his chest, and two, he doesn't wake up anywhere near the Voorhees house. So it's at that point, does Jason Goes to Hell really exist? And if Jason Goes to Hell doesn't exist, does Jason X actually exist in the timeline? And if Jason X doesn't exist, does Freddy vs. Jason even exist in the timeline? Considering all three movies, aside from Jason X gives Jason a regenerative power. So him getting hit with the toxic waste means that pretty much he could regenerate from it and ultimately come back to Crystal Lake and got captured. You can put that together mentally with Jason X. But if you go with Freddy vs. Jason, which is supposed to happen prior to Jason X, we go from Jason being hit with the toxic waste and waking up in the ground. If we go from Freddy vs. Jason, Jason Goes to Hell to Freddy vs. Jason, we go from Jason being dragged to hell in front of the Voorhees house. His mask is pretty much popped off, and his mask is very much damaged by the end of Jason Goes to Hell. But then we show up in Freddy vs. Jason, he just wakes up. So if the dagger was the only thing that could kill Jason along with his bloodline, it did a really shit job. Whoever translated that part of the book, if it was the Necronomicon kind of thing, or Creighton Duke did his research, he was a really shit researcher. Like, really, really, really bad. Because he not only risked the lives of people by wanting to break fingers, he also gave bad information. Because it didn't kill Jason. And Jason went on to kill tons of other people. Anthony says, what if Jason goes to the Myers house, JG? It would depend on what he's going there for. I mean, Jason isn't exactly a roadshow. Like, him going to Haddonfield, he would have to be on a very locked in target, like he was in Freddy vs. Jason. He was told by what he thought was his mother to go to Springwood and kill the kids there. And he did. Michael doesn't have that same power. So it would be the whole thing. What if he went there? Probably not much. If he went there, it would likely be very similar to the Higgins Haven, like area where he went there. He would probably be trying to recuperate from injuries that he just sustained. If he's that far from Camp Crystal Lake, meaning he was probably detained and taken across Haddonfield and probably broke free and is making his way back there and is hiding out in the abandoned Myers house in order to recuperate. But after that, he's gone. Like, unless Michael pops up, which there's no telling if that'd be on Halloween, you wouldn't see a real face-to-face between them. Plus, there's no telling whether Michael would actually attack Jason or not, because Michael is a random attacker. He's not necessarily going after everybody that he sees. And mostly the people that he attacks are babysitters. Jason's not a babysitter. So he may move on from Jason just because he has no interest. Jason may move on from him because he just wants to go home. So it's pretty much two trains passing in the night? All right, you said we're ready to set up episode 7? Yes, we are. We're about to move on to it. Got on that little bit of a tangent with the whole Jason and the Necronomicon thing. But we're getting centered back. We're getting right back into it. So, assuming everybody is all ready, if you have not, feel free to jump over to the app if you can carry both streams, because I guess the other one doesn't play my voice and the audio from the episode at the same time. So that would be the only way you could hear both. Or if you just want to watch the episode, jump over. Like one or the other. If you guys need the link again, let me know. I can drop it in the chat. But with that being said, we are going to jump over to episode 7, and that begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, exactly, Nicholas. Neither one would really be on each other's radar, not unless one places themselves in the other's path. I'm surprised, like, the Deadites haven't possessed every single thing in the woods. You figured, like, the way they're going, they're able to possess anything at will now. So you'd have figured they would have had, like, every tree possessed. Maybe if Jason stole Michael's kill, that'd be a stretch. That'd be a huge stretch because Jason, outside of Freddy versus Jason, he's not a big crowd kind of people. Like, he doesn't like getting around that many people. Like, he tries to stay off to the side himself. Michael tends to attack on Halloween, which involves him walking through hordes of people. So if Jason got caught in that kind of situation, it would ultimately be he was going after everybody. Michael would see that and ultimately just end up going the other way. Hey, what's going on, Lost Eagle? What? What? What are you saying what to? Stop the blood flow. Look at his eye. Things got him like pretty much like actually like. What's it? Shoot first, ask questions never. So like one Deadite was able to do all that damage, but Ash takes him on one all the time. Which technically should mean that Ash should be able to take out an entire camp full of people by himself. Jason takes Seattle. Jason and Michael met someday? You mean met or they're going to meet someday? It's just like coincidental that we go from Resident Evil to this episode, like talking about viruses. Guess what, Anthony? That they met or they're going to meet?
Meaning, yes, they're going to meet, most likely. Genteel grammar.
Why didn't you just like kick the door shut and go back and lock it? Are people so concerned about what he could do? not exactly going about things a smart kind of way. I mean, he moves fast. Is that Abby or Amanda? That is a ghost Abby.
Why did you have to tell that?
Because you're haunting.
I would have thought Nicholas would have heard me.
That was basically the cellar all over again. Said the other live stream isn't working? Really? Man, it says it's going on still. That's odd. But it also did say that everyone left the party for it, so I'm not entirely certain. Like, unfortunately, I don't believe. Says it's not streaming. Wonder if Abby did something.
Shut up.
Huh. I see what you mean, Haley. I see what you mean. Me. All right, there we go. It should technically. Oh. Guess that's what Ty was waiting for. Actually, I guess not. It didn't work. Said it's up. I gotta do some more research on this thing.
Hi.
You know Ghost Abby infected it with something. With her Abby virus. It's a bit louder now, but it's up. That's what I get with messing with new technologies, going away from the norm.
It's gone again. It's gone again.
It's gone again? I told you, it's Ghost Abby.
Shut up.
It's all Ghost Abby's fault. That's what it is.
No.
It's always Ghost Abby's fault.
Mm-mm.
I can't hear you. These headphones block out everything. They blocked that out too. I didn't feel anything. Are you? That's fine. I'm gonna catch a field mouse and put it in your room.
No.
Oh, that's right. You do your homeschooling Thursday, right?
No, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Your teacher and friends are about to meet Michael Myers.
No, they're not.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make sure I lock myself in the back.
That's fine. I can get in there. I can pick the lock.
No.
I was playing Resident Evil. I know how to use lock picks.
No.
Yep.
No. They're not me. Anybody else but myself. Mommy, she said that next week she's gonna go to the store and get candy and treats and stuff, and to make me and Bella like get good scores on Success Maker at the end of the week. She is getting a board, and we're gonna write down our scores, and then she's going to add up all the scores, and if we get like an example of like 5 scores, we get 5 pieces of candy or something. Because Bella, she was like complaining that she's not going to do her work. So Mommy said that we would get candy and treats.
Yeah, Resident Evil makes that shit look easy. Pretty much. Just like thumbing them, pop things over. Everything's unlocked. Alright. Not sure. I don't think it's working. So we're going to go ahead and shut down the other site. Some more tests are going to be needed for that. Which Deadite do I think is the scariest? I'd probably say Ed. Ed was someone that creeped me out when I was a kid. Oh, did he rip? Oh, I was gonna say, did he rip his tongue out? Ow! 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 See, I was gonna go to the store yesterday with my Ghostface mask on, but that decision was vetoed.
By Mommy. Ew. Ow. Ew. Ew. Oof.
Pretty much.
Ew.
Kind of reminds me of like Call of Duty Zombies, though. Pairs.
Gross.
Yeah, fuck that. I swear I just seen them move, but then again, they are moving around the truck. Oh, we see a big head of Abby.
Ew. Boom, 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 boom. He's gonna shoot him instead.
What?
Huh?
What?
I said he's gonna probably shoot. Oh, there. Nope. He's gonna end up shooting that guy. Probably. It's pretty funny.
It's the gun's fault.
Ew.
I mean, at this point, he has nothing really worry about with blood wise.
Ew.
It's like completely showered in it.
Uh-oh. That would be mean. Ew.
Although it kind of felt like, in the earlier movies, it always felt like the Deadites knew exactly where you were to really mess with you. On here, they kind of seem clueless at times.
That looked cool.
I mean, shouldn't he have, like, caught on fire?
Ew. Ew. His brain knocked out. Ew. Ew.
Like, I would have thought, like, he would have caught on fire almost instantly. What's the saying? Like, guns don't kill people, the bullets do? Forget what I just saw that on. At this point, just do it and get it over with.
But that's every romance movie. They take forever to kiss. It takes like 5 hours.
You did what?
Huh?
What?
I said that was like every romance movie. It takes like 5 hours just to get this close.
What's wrong with your thumb?
I cut it when I was taking my stickers off the wall.
How do you cut yourself taking stickers
No,
off?
I don't know if the sticker cut me or because I was also using...
How the stickers cut you?
I don't know, but I was also using scissors to get it because some of them wouldn't
You got cut by a sticker.
Or scissors. I'm going to do it now. And I thought it was tape on my
It's like
finger.
getting strangled by bubbles.
No, because I thought it was like tape or paper on my finger, so I kept doing that and stuff. And I ended up, it was the skin that was separated.
Why ignore Halloween 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? Because, like Paris said, timeline and story got too mixed up, crowded, and confusing. Especially when you already reboot the timeline with what you claim is 7 and 8, which is actually a new 3 and 4. Should I get Chucky?
No.
You don't want Chucky?
No.
Why not? Let's go get Chucky. Come on, let's go get Chucky.
No.
You don't want to go get Chucky?
No. I'm playing with this.
That's fine later.
No.
When the sun is down a little bit more.
No.
Chucky likes to play at night. Jackie Briggs versus Jill Valentine. I think in a survivalist kind of thing, I'd probably go with Jill. In a full-on face-to-face fight, I'd probably go with Jackie.
You've been good.
What?
I was answering the question. I said good.
Good? Good. Good.
Good.
Good.
Look, man. I feel sick. I gotta go. I don't feel good.
No, feel good. Hey, move this chair back. I remember seeing this part for the first time and seeing the cabin. Got like super excited for it. So I wonder, did they use this cabin, this particular one, for the remake or reboot? Or did they both build their own different cabins? That's what I'm wondering. Because, I mean, Fede Alvarez did work close with Sam Raimi and all them for his movie. So you would imagine that Fede Alvarez would have probably... Because his stuff came out first before this. So you would have wondered if they would have reused that cabin for this movie. Ghost says, it's sad me to see Halloween 2 perish, but it's for the best. I agree. And that was the thing that I say before, and I'll say it again. I loved the concept of the do-over. Like when you have a movie and you have a series and you create a sequel that's so far off the rails that it just kind of degrades the series as a whole, you can chop that part off and redo it again. So let's say people that didn't like Friday the 13th Part 5, they can always go back in time and make a new Part 5 and branch a timeline off of that, if they have a narrative for it. The way they did it with 2018 and onward, whether you're a fan of 2018 or not, it opens the door to so many possibilities and many different timelines that we could get from one series to squeeze every story that we could possibly get. Okay. because I know the Fede Alvarez cabin struck a very close resemblance to the original one too. I just didn't know if they used at least a good portion of the exterior to reuse stuff to save on budget. So I wasn't entirely certain. All right, that was episode 7, I believe it was. Now we are getting ready to jump over to episode 8. And with that, we begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Hey, what's going on, Fanta Krager? How you doing? Somebody just stole my car radio. What the fuck, man? It's getting crazy out there. Sorry to hear that. I'd have figured with everything going on, breaking into someone's car and stealing their radio is like one of the last things that anybody would be trying to do. What's going on, Chucky fan? No. How you throw the fucking bird so hard it splatters like that? Are you allowed to send the link from this song into the chat? Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not anything offensive or anything like that, that's completely fine. Like, I'm pretty lenient on links. Like, you really thought they were picking up after Halloween Resurrection? I knew they weren't the moment I heard production. Like, what they were doing. Like, they made really no secret about how they were going about with Halloween 2018. So one time a guy tried getting into your van while you were home alone? Oh, fuck, man. Was that before all the quarantine stuff or after? A nice little reference to the first movie. So I'm not sure if anybody is seeing your link, Fanta. It might be better for you if you have a YouTube account to come find me on there and drop the link. That's crazy. The link gets deleted instantly? Really? I don't have anything in my Twitch that should do that, unless my my stream elements automatically is doing it for me. That's odd. That's very odd. I'd probably say your best bet is probably jumping over to YouTube and dropping it. See, I was pretty much in that same line of thinking, Ghost, because the father and son thing kind of got confusing. Not confusing, but very odd storytelling wise. I would have probably preferred the Friday the 13th Vengeance movie to be more about Elias as the killer instead of Jason. Like, you honestly didn't need Jason in that at all. Like, you could have probably just told the story without Jason and Elias alone, and it would have probably have elevated that movie by far. Like, Jason was just on there because, one, it's a fan film and fans want to see Jason, and two, it gives you a lot of leeway for a lot of gory deaths. Luckily, he didn't get anything out of the van, but yeah, crazy. Like, people are ridiculous. Like, I would imagine in this whole quarantine thing, with people freaking out about touching other people's stuff and getting close to anybody else, like stealing someone's car or getting into their car, not knowing what the fuck could be in there, like, that to me would be some dangerous business. There's my YouTube link, Fanta. Feel free to follow that and jump over to my YouTube. That way you should be able to drop the link there. Some people are hypocrites or they're just plain stupid. That's one thing I've noticed a lot from this whole ordeal. See, Ghost, I think with Josh Hartnett, you probably would have stood a chance. Danielle Harris, the way I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis kind of reacts to her, I very much doubt you would have got Jamie Lee Curtis and her playing in the same movie together. No, you can search for it on YouTube. Probably not. Because I will tell you now, I will forget. It's best to probably link it or maybe come to the YouTube community tab and link it through there in one of the comments. But I don't actively seek out other links. Not typically. Which if the generator's outside, why didn't the Deadites ever take out the generator? I can't remember. Is the Freddy glove still up top the door? That's a big ass fucking bug, man. Alright, so the Freddy glove isn't up there. You actually have pet birds. 2 males, 1 female. One of them's actually named Ash. I actually wouldn't mind changing one of my dogs' name to Ash. Especially because he looks kind of dusty. He's not old or anything, he just looks dusty. Like someone's been dusting with him for like a day or two. And the color won't leave his fur. It's like they never go anywhere with the Kelly and Pablo thing, though. So there is the link on YouTube in your stream. Don't see it in my stream. Episode 8 is not fucking working for me. That is highly, highly unfortunate, Paris. Bird being transgender. Is I Know What You Did Last Summer 4 happening? Likely not. What you'll probably get with that franchise at some point in time, if the slasher craze keeps going on, is likely you'll get a remake and reboot. probably another retelling of the source material. But I mean, ultimately, the original series movies, there's not really anywhere else to go. It's like one of those franchises that you've already done everything. And it was an over-stylized ripoff of, well, it looked like a ripoff of Scream to begin with. Granted, it was its own thing prior to that, but still, it like felt like and had the tone of a ripoff of Scream. So if they did redo it, hopefully they add a little bit more grime to it. So we changed it from Carrie to Georgie. I actually like that. Every time you say the bird's name, just want to like try to do the Pennywise voice. There is the link. Where? I do not see it. What's happening right now? We are pretty much where the fake Ash is talking to Amanda for the first time. Let me take a look. I don't know, Fanta. I seen the part where you said there is the link, but I did not see a link drop. The hand grew another me. Like, why did it? I guess they kind of explained that it took so long for the hand to become active again. But it's like, why now? Is it because Ash read from the book? Is that what resurrected the hand, so to speak? Although the hand should have been far, far more decayed than that, if that was the case. Do you think Bruce Campbell has fun playing Evil Ash? I think he has fun with pretty much all of his roles. Ooh, ooh. God. Ooh. And it's like, shit. Like, why didn't she just, like, bury that shit into him? Blumhouse posted to get Scream. What happened? They lost the bidding war for it, for the rights to it. That's what I would imagine. The glove is in the basement. Okay. Ooh. I remember seeing that. I did not see that coming. Because I did not think she was going to die. Because, like, after seeing that, I thought that there was quite possibly a chance that Kelly and Pablo may die too. Ooh. I mean, shouldn't Ash's, like, hand be a stump now? Like, no way it should be, like, that juicy. Like, underneath the power glove. Unless, like, the part was actually, like, attached to the inside. Which even then, it wouldn't have that kind of surface on it. It would eventually healed over. Now, that's what I call cleavage. I actually would have liked to have seen, because they teased it in the first episode, and with every woman that Ash supposedly loves, they end up getting killed and becoming a Deadite. I would have liked Ash to have actually banged the Deadite. Just to say, like, fuck it. Like, pretty much, you're going to become one anyways. You're one now. I've played with the idea. Let's make it happen. Like, can you imagine the Deadite become obsessed with him? Or he becomes obsessed with screwing Deadites? It's another me, like, coming out. Like, come on out, you ugly bastard. Would it count as necrophilia? I mean, it all depends on what your viewpoint of a deadite actually is. If you're going by my theory that deadites have to control, like, in order for them to gain full-on control, the person would have to be dead. But they have also been known to take control of living people. So it's hard to say if that would count as necrophilia or not. Softballs. Like bum shoulder. Softballs. Oh, man. All right. And that was episode 8. It's a fun ride so far. Let me check to see what you got. Oops, sorry about that. I hit the microphone and that probably just destroyed everybody's ears. All right, just checking a couple of things, making sure messages wise and all that. But yeah, that was episode 8, and we only got 2 more episodes to go before ending season 1. Now, for those of you wondering about Fede Alvarez's movie, we will be doing the commentary for that after the Ash vs. the Evil Dead TV show. That will be what we cap off Evil Dead with. But it looks like at that point that's going to wrap it up for me. I'm going to head out.
Mommy and me need one of your bandanas, or 2 of your bandanas.
What?
We're going to the dollar store.
They're all upstairs. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'm going to head out, and I will see you guys tomorrow where we finish off season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Not sure if we're going to start Evil Dead season 2 or Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2 tomorrow. Maybe it's a possibility, but we will see. Might do a commentary for the last 2 episodes and then go into some video gameplay, just depending on how I feel with it. But you guys have a good night. I want to thank you for sticking out with me, and make sure you guys are checking out all the cosplayers that I shared at the beginning of the stream. And let me know if you guys like that whole setup with the video, or do you prefer the other way around where I was sharing the pictures individually. Let me know feedback on these things as we progress with the channel. But you guys have a good night, and I am JG Darhk. And thanks for watching. Drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your
your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in. The worms that crawl in are lean and thin. The ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy. And for the living all is well as you sink further